Hello everyone, welcome on today's webinar. I'm Adam, and with my colleague Eva, we take you for a short journey to meet OneCore, the solution for leasing providers.
Hi everyone. The main topics for today are to give you basic introduction and overview of main functionalities.
I will point up top 5 features how using OneCore and simplify the leasing processes. I will straightly connect this part with live demo showcase. The last part of our webinar will focus on customer success story. So let's start.
OneCore. It is a business software specifically designed for financial services companies. Since we are proud Microsoft Gold partner, OneCore is fully built and integrated to Business Central and using its main part. You may ask, who are these financial services companies, right? To give you the better idea of our segment, we focus mainly on leasing companies who are providing operative leasing with services, financial leasing, fleet management, and others. Then we talk about loan providers and companies who are offering intercompany loans, as well as rental firms who deal with short and long-term rents of cars, machine, equipment, electronics, and much more. Finally, we focus on all other financial lessors who provide any type of financing. OneCore has few core modules which define the main areas of functions as well. It is a finance lease without services for any type of financing object. Operative lease with full services, also refueling cards, tire services, highway tickets, and much more. Next module is a fleet management for your customers' car flotilla. Fourth module is for loans and covers the entire life cycle of loan contracts. OneCore also covers installment sale. For some of you maybe better know as buy now, pay later system. Last but not least is rental module tailored for movables. There are many functions connected with OneCore modules and which really can make your internal processes faster. I talk about connection to bank, finance module, full VAT agenda, as well as e-invoicing and e-signature tools, which are the must in these digital times. OneCore covers the entire life cycle of leasing, loan, and rental contracts, including quotes, creation, approval process, and management of credit limits. Our cloud software guides you till the end of the contract, so early and regular termination process is covered, the same as the penalization and financial settlement part. This is a really high-level overview what you could expect from OneCore software. Now, my colleague Adam will focus on top 5. Adam, the floor is yours.
The role-based system. Have you ever struggled with roles and permissions set up for your employees and company members? With OneCore, you can stay calm and enjoy wide possibilities of working with roles and permissions. First of all, we understand leasing company needs and we prepared role centers for OneCore users, which covers all the necessary actions needed for daily operations in the system. From another point of view, you are able to set up your own dashboards and views of the system, and also the end users can personalize the system very simply. Now, I would like to show you just shortly what it means to work with the role centers. This is the particular role center for the sales manager in OneCore. As you can see, I see all of my open opportunities, opportunities due in 7 days, and overdue and closed opportunities. In connection with this, if I would like to switch to another role, and for example, if I would like to work with the as a financing manager or leasing manager, I can just simply open the settings, click to my settings, and change role which I would like to enter. For this particular case, we will work with the OneCore financing, where I'm able to work with all of the financing products. We can say the operative leasing, financial leasing, loans, just everything. And as you can see, it's changed. Right now, I can operate with all the leasing offers with the customers, with the cars, with the maintenance, field cards, and all the other stuff important for leasing or financing in general. What I can also do as a user, as an end user of this role, I can simply personalize it. What it means, basically, if I open settings again and click to personalize, I can just simply move all of these, let's say, columns and parts of the system everywhere where I want. And at the end of the day, if I don't want to use or work with some parts, I can just simply hide them or add some new fields and columns. Top reason number 2, Microsoft connectivity. Most of us are using Microsoft solutions as Word, Excel, Power BI every day. Did you ever think about sending document directly from the leasing system or exporting some part of database to the Excel? With OneCore solution, you can do this simply every single moment. Thanks to direct plugins, you can export and import data in Excel, share documents via SharePoint or Microsoft Teams. So we are back in the system. Now I will just show you how simple it is to export some part of system to the Excel or how to share via Teams. For example, we can open the customers database. Once we open the customers database, we will get this kind of table and we will see all of the information about the customer, VAT registration number, city, what is the legal form code, and all the other details which are necessary for us. What we can do, we can filter this data how we want. So I have here prepared filter for legal entities. It means I would like to see only legal entities customers. Legal entities are these customers, and let's imagine the situation. I would like to share this kind of table to my colleague or to some third-party provider for some necessary activities. What I will do, or what I can do, is I'm clicking here to the share and I can directly open this table in the Excel, or I can share directly to the Teams to my colleagues. So for example, if I open in Excel, system download me this particular file, I will open it in my environment, and as you can see, I get the same table which I have in the system, just in the Excel format, and I can work with it. Reason number 3, ease and automate daily agenda with wizards. Yes, it sounds like a fairy tale, but in OneCore you can simplify the processes by simple tools which are called wizards. And for which activities you can use them? First of all, for creation. You can create customer or new financing for customer by simple 4 steps process called wizard. Thanks to connectivity with government agencies, you can push the necessary data about companies and no more filling them manually. From another point of view, you can use wizards for moving contract through approval workflow, from calculation through approving contract to activation. And what more you can use wizards for? Do mass changes, typically changes of interest of all contracts for one click, contract conditions, services, and etc. For another example, I will just quickly show you what are the possibilities of the wizards. If I'm back in the system and work with this main dashboard of leasing solution, I can see here some kind of contracts and their statuses. By wizards, I can moving these contracts and these statuses in the approval workflow process. But as you can see, here is the actions panel. In this actions panel, I have, for example, the create partner button. This is one of the wizards. Once I click on it, I have here 4 steps how to create the partner or customer. And system is asking me for every single step if this customer or particular company will be the business partner or only contact person, if it will be my customer for leasing or if it will be vendor of the leasing. And in the other steps, I'm just going through the wizard, and system is giving me some possibilities of, for example, country, region code, VAT registration number, name, and all of these things. As I mentioned in an earlier slide, there is possible to connect, for example, based on the VAT registration number, connected with third-party systems, for example, with some government agency. And based on the VAT registration number, I can get all the other information, including addresses, some history of the company, and all of these important facts which I need, for example, for scoring or just for evidence the information about the customer. This is one wizard. Another is for creation of offer or contract. It's the same process. System just asking me some questions, and I'm just choosing and filling the forms or filling the parts of the questionnaire. And last but not least, we have here some groups of which are called posting, closing, and changing. For example, in posting, this is for me the place where I have the wizards for batch posting. So I can set up here on which date and how often I would like to send the invoices and posting them to the customers. So once I will do the setup here, I will or system will do these actions automatically, and I'm just controlling if everything is okay, or if I have here some cancel ones. And in the same way, I can do the mass invoicing of, let's say, additional services for the leasing. So we have the mass invoicing of the fuel cards, some bonus invoicing, rental mass invoicing. For every single kind of service, I have a special tool where I can work with it. The same is with the changing. I can do some mass changes upon the contract, so it's not necessary to change the interest rate contract by contract, but I can do it massively and say, okay, for all of the operative leases, I would like to change interest rate from 5% to 7%, for example. So these were the wizards, and this is how it works. In some of the next webinars, we will definitely show you more and show you all the details behind the wizards and how exactly it is the life of the users of OneCore. Last 2 reasons are connected with leasing needs. Leasing process is dependent on the data quality. Firstly, from the customer point of view. With OneCore, you can simply track the general information about customer or company, including communication channels, addresses, invoicing details, payment details, etc. During the leasing process, OneCore tracks the actual balances, invoices, and unpaid amounts, and all the other financial data to keep your company profitable. If we will switch back to the system, we have here the button Customers. It's the customers list, which we haven't opened it yet. And let's open, for example, this customer. What we see right now is the customer's card with all the necessary details about the customer. On the right panel, I exactly see the customer profitability. So I see the margin on the interest, on the maintenance, on the tires, on all the additional services of the leasing. Down there, I can see information if this customer is or is not on the incident list, basically some other business relations, and in general, all the necessary statistics which I need to just quickly find. Once I will close this one, I still have, let's say, the general info about the customer. As mentioned, everything can be connected with the VAT registration number. I have the name, I have special numbering of the customers by my own setup, so I can evidence customers with own numbers in the company. And basically then down there, I have the full setup of the addresses and contact management. So I have his email, potentially a web page. I can evidence here the language code, which helps me with potential marketing campaigns and potential communication. So I know how to communicate with him and in which language. As mentioned, down there, it's part of the general information about the customer. It is the invoicing details, so I have the special setup for invoicing. I know which kind or which type of customer it is, if he has some special prices, discounts. And from the payments point of view, I have here the basic setup of some, let's say, payment method codes, how I'm reminding the customer, how I'm charging them if they're paying later, and all of these things. Of course, it's not necessary to do this setup of the customer card, let's say, for every single customer. On the beginning of the using this system, we standardly, let's say, importing all the necessary data which you have in the current system or in some Excel format. We are inputting them or importing them directly to the system. In connection with leasing, you also need to keep leasing object data clear. In standard leasing business, there is a lot of ways how to work with object during the leasing process, and OneCore helps you with it. Thanks to connectivity with third-party catalogs and databases as JTO or Eurotext, you can get all the technical details of the car, which helps you to set up the right pricing and include services, insurance, or extra accessories to financing. Last but not least, you can simply evidence registration data of a car and order car directly from the system via vendor. If we are back in the solution, we have here the part financed objects. Financed objects are not only the car, it depends on the leasing company focus. It can be anything because the setup which defines what exactly the financing object is basically upon you. But let's imagine the situation that we work for the car leasing company. If I open it, the structure is still the same. I have this simple table. I still can do all the sharing to the Excel, to the Teams, and any more possibilities. And I have this list of the cars. I still can do the filtering. So for example, I can filter cars based on the make code, model line code, model groups. I can group the cars somehow. So it can be pretty simple for me to find the exact car which I need. Just for the information, what kind of data or information we have about the car, I will open one of the financed object cards. This is basically the source of the data of every single car we have in the leasing company. Again, on the right side, we have the information panel where we evidence the license plate number, chassis number, serial number. In this particular case, it's empty because this car is just ordered. It's not part of the company right now. It's just ordered in the vendor or by the vendor, and vendor needs to let's say bring it to us. After he will bring it, and we will have the license plate, chassis number, the initial mileage, and all of these things. We will get this data here. What we see, again, we evidence some general info about the car. So we have it directly connected with some financing number. So we know this car is already part of some contract. We have here some general info. So we know that this is the vehicle. It has some homologation class. We are grouping it somehow in the company, and we know the model name, model type, and the exact name of the car. Down there, I have the purchasing info. So as mentioned, we asked the vendor if he can deliver us this specification of the car. He will deliver to us in some period of the time in the future, and we can evidence all of these details here also. So this is connected with the ordering process, and I can simply, let's say, manage the ordering process directly from here. Once I know all the informations about the car, I have here the part registration data. I will evidence here the license plate. I can evidence the VIN number, serial numbers. I can also evidence who is the object owner, who is the object holder. So later on, during the leasing process, I really have all the necessary info, which is so important for mainly for operational leasing, but also for the financing one. And it's important for the whole time. From the technical data point of view, this is exactly connected with the databases, which I mentioned earlier. Databases as Eurotex or JTO can provide us all of these details about the cars, and basically these are the technical details. So what is the engine power, what is the total weight, what is the type of body, type of gearbox, fuel type, all of these important data we evidence here in the system. So all of these technicals can come from the databases, or we can fill them manually. If it's not important for us in the leasing business, if we do some simple leasing business, it's of course possible to leave this empty and not using all of the details, but the preparation for this is here. Just short comment, which kind of things we have here. We have also something what is called elements of the cars. So we can evidence directly on the car the insurance contracts, potentially the services contracts. And we can evidence the object parts, which are basically some special accessories, some extra accessories needed for the company, and all the other things. So this was the financing object card. In one of the next webinars, we will definitely focus on this in bigger detail. We will show you definitely some example how to work with the services, and maybe to show you how some of our customers, which currently using the OneCore, how they work with it, and how it saves their time during the process of the leasing.
I'm very happy to share this success story with you. Our project team delivered OneCore to Slovenská sporiteľňa, which is the largest commercial bank in Slovakia. They are also the only bank in Slovakia to offer leasing as a banking product without involvement of independent leasing company. And they are having dominant position in the area of issuing payment cards. The project was delivered online due to COVID pandemic, which was also a unique experience for our team in such a big implementation. To give you a better picture of their business, the project started with 2,000 contract migration. Anyway, the team was great, and in 9 months, they delivered all requirements and ensured on-time go-live. We have developed a lot of great features for them. For example, online verification of unreliable payer, sales segmentation, including contract overview, or automatic direct debit to the file. Many integrations to registers were made too, also automatic control of kilometers. After implementing OneCore, Slovenská sporiteľňa speeded up a lot of leasing processes. 30% of time reduction was fine during client onboarding process, 50% time saving on contract process, and we minimalized the number of applications which they needed to use. What happened more? After meeting OneCore, Slovenská sporiteľňa started to provide loans, financial product which they didn't have in their portfolio before. And currently, financial leasing and loan product has similar position for their business. We are slowly getting to the end of today's webinar, and I have there 8 main points which I would love you to remind.
OneCore is all-in-one solution for financial services companies based on Microsoft platform. It's fully integrated with Microsoft 365, Office 365, and other Microsoft products, and can be easily connected with other systems as well.
Thanks to Microsoft certification, OneCore is available all around the world and offering multi-currency, legal, and company system. Software is available for on-premise and also for cloud version. Now it's time for your questions.
Okay, we see a few questions here in the chat. The first is the solution available in Asia? We can say yes, because thanks to connection with Microsoft Business Central, this solution is basically available in more than 130 countries in the world today. Everything is just about the localization to basically local needs from the accounting standards and financing point of view. But the answer is yes. The solution is available in Asia. Another question is pretty longer, but it sounds: if we are leasing company with rental services for customers, how we can handle it in the system? It's a great question. Thanks for it. The OneCore as a leasing system have own module for rental purposes, and it's part of it. It means that I can combine my leasing contracts with the rental services, and we can say that rental is not necessary part of OneCore, but you can buy this as an extra module. It's important to say that once we understand your business needs, we can basically specify which functionality from the system you will need to use. And we can also calculate the high-level price of it. So it means that the best way is to get some examples from the customer, and we can understand which kind of modules from the system is needed, and yeah, what's in it. And the last one is basically focused on the price. So last question: what's the price of this solution? I can say that the big benefit is that OneCore is paid by named user. So it means customers really pay only for employees who operate with the solution, who use it. The final price, of course, depends on functionality and on modules which are used. But we can say that simple leasing or loans management without any extra services, I mean services connected with the financing, costs 83 euros per user per month. The full leasing functionality with services, insurance, and tank cards, fuel cards, and the other functionalities. So for operational leasing, costs 110 euros per user per month. And as mentioned, for the exact calculation, we need to a little bit understand the business case more and specify who really are the employees who will use the system and who will not need the full functionality. So that's it. Thank you. Thanks for your questions.
Yes, and here is a little sneak peek what you can look forward in following months. We prepare webinar for Safe4Sign, which is our electronic signature tool. Then we want to present car rental module in detail for you.
If you get interested during today's webinar, I offer you a few potential next steps which you can follow. You can book a meeting via QR code on the screen or download trial version from App Source.
If you already have basic requirements, you definitely can contact us on our email and request pricing and details for implementation. And I think it's all from our side.
That's it. Thank you for your attention and hope to see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.